oh, how everything can change in a matter of days. It was all good just a week ago. We beat up on the Chicago Sky a few days ago. 35-point victory. Caitlin Clark triple-double. Indiana Fever riding high. Indiana Fever fans riding high. Caitlin Clark supporters riding high. And then, of course, the dweebs do what the dweebs do. They make up nonsense. They make up lies. And the WNBA validate the lies. The WNBA validates the nonsense. The WNBA validates non-truths.
The Indiana Fever have finished playing nice and are now threatening to boycott the entire WNBA because of what they claim are outright lies, rumors, and drama lies. The problem is that no one is revealing the specifics of these lies, which range from explosive secrets to behind-the-scenes feuds. Is this a power move or the beginning of a scandal that could rock the WNBA as a whole? The Fever are acting as though they know something that the other teams in the league really don't want out. Keep an eye out because this one is going to blow up.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. This dump, this turd of turds known as the WNBA, this damn league can't get the hell out of their own way. They don't get it. They just don't get it. The diva of dump divas, Kat Engelbert, she does not understand how fragile this fan base is. And by fragile, I'm referring to their level of loyalty to pretend basketball, which in this case doesn't exist.
Okay, if you thought the WNBA drama was solely about basketball, get ready for a reality check that will be messier than your last breakup text. Here is the Indiana Fever's hot, sizzling mess both on and off the court, lead by none other than the brilliant, irresistible every sports executive fantasizes about insanely high ticket prices, sellout games, new fans tuning in, and the Fever providing the heat, energy, and attention the WNBA sorely needs. Caitlin Clark is essentially the league's cash cow, the golden ticket, the crowd puller, and the hype machine.
You would think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should be.
However, the league and its devoted supporters want to pretend that the Fever are the evil guys ruining the game because Caitlin Clark's daring tackle on Angel Reese supposedly caused the spectators to become a bit too excited.
This is what started all of this.
It's a flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
Okay, that was it. That noise you heard right there that sounds a little bit like a dolphin was actually a YouTuber called Flight Reacts. A laugh. All right, a laugh that it's my understanding actually gets played during NBA games too. That's what it's all about because they tried to say that sounded like a monkey.
Let's go back in time and reenact this as a vintage reality show. Angel, the queen of smirks and side eyes, Reese, gives a Fever player a firm back of the head shove that shouts, "I'm here to throw elbows and get away with it." After Caitlin delivers Angel a fair, honest, and dirty foul, the Fever supporters are instantly painted as villains. The league fabricates racist conspiracy theories in the stands, and Angel is elevated to the status of untouchable martyr.
On television, it's been the most polarizing conversation in all of sports over the last 24 hours rather. Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted, but Slick, do you have an issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul?
Yes, and I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved.
The irony, while the rest of the WNBA sits there like a sullen audience, watching their own ratings get overshadowed by one star and the team that supports her, the the Fever supporters are the only ones packing stadiums, purchasing jerseys, selling out arenas, and essentially funding the league.
I'm just really thankful. They continued to show up for us, and they make a lot of noise. Like, they're into it. They're not just sitting there. Like, they're invested in this basketball. It's great for our league. It's great for every team that gets to come and play here. I think we've had a lot of great battles, and they've helped us win a lot of games on this floor. So, like I said, hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here and give them a taste of it, because they deserve it. It's been since 2016. So, it's only going to get better and better from here on out.
The murmurs. We want Caitlin to succeed, but not like that, not while the Fever fans exist, are almost audible. Translation. The WNBA seems to have decided that the best way to deal with growing popularity is to burn the house down, starting with the very team that keeps the lights on. We want the league to grow, but only if it fits the script of victimhood and manufactured drama. And here's the really bad part.
Flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark. Listen, I was at the game. If there was somebody being racist or saying shit, obviously boot him, never let him back. I would be stunned beyond belief if that was the case. This crowd, I've sat on the wood for a million games, been in a million environments. The crowd at the Fever game, little girls, families, ladies, nice crowd. You even though it's 100% false, by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was a internet rumor, complete bullshit, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a great crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah, Angel Reese deserved to get her ass booed when she attacked Caitlin on a normal foul. Other than that,
what's really going on is racism. Or is it envy, control, and a big dose of resentment at the Fever and Caitlin's soaring renown that you desire drama? The very supporters who are accused of racism are the ones who turned out in large numbers to support their team. Since Angel Ree, whether you like her or not, is the league's favored antagonist, and the Fever supporters are seemingly the scapegoats for every ounce of tension that arises, Caitlin Clark is the most divisive figure in the league. However, here is the reality without Caitlin and the Fever. While the league hesitates, the WNBA continues to score points on the court and in the hearts of fans because, in the end, no amount of trivial drama can stop the real game. The league may still be trying to pack half-empty gymnasiums with free ticket signs and awkward silence, but now it's booming, and the very people who should be celebrating are trying to cancel the party. When basketball fills out arenas, sells jerseys, and makes the sport unavoidable, let the Fever run wild. Let Caitlin shine. And perhaps the WNBA will realize that sometimes progress is messy, but well worth it.
They wanted to hone their defensive skills. Last season, in the offseason, Stephanie White made it a point to drill that idea home. I mean, Caitlin Clark talked about upping her defense, and in the offseason, they picked up a lot of key defenders. They picked up Natasha Howard, who is the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and last season, the Connecticut Sun came in first in their defensive rating. So what did the Fever do? They took Stephanie White, they took Keith Porter, they brought in Juana Bonner, and they said, we're doing this right.
Okay, let's peel back the curtain on this WNBA soap opera that's got more twists than a pretzel factory. You've got the Indiana Fever, the team that's basically turned the league's lights back on after years of flickering dimly, like a bad phone signal. They've got Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, who's not just breaking records, but shattering expectations faster than anyone expected. Fans are flocking to games, arenas are packed ticket. Prices soaring like they've got rocket fuel strapped underneath. And merch sales are through the roof. It's basically a sports marketer's wet dream, but here's the kicker: instead of a collective, hell yeah, let's ride this wave. From the league and fans alike, we get the exact opposite: the Fever, and their fans are suddenly the villains in the story, accused of being too loud, too proud, and somehow too much, the kind of too much that apparently ruins the carefully crafted narrative the rest of the WNBA wants to push. It's like the league's own version of You Can't Sit With Us, but with basketball jerseys and some seriously questionable calls about who deserves to. Beyond the court.
Today, the WNBA is investigating alleged racial comments that were directed at WNBA player Angel Reese by fans yesterday at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Actually, that game was on Sunday. The Players Union says it supports, on Saturday rather. The Players Union says it supports the investigation and condemns all forms of hate and discrimination.
So, what's the true issue? It all came to a head after that notorious tackle, the one that sent the internet into a frenzy and the WNBA into what appeared to be a PR meltdown. Angel Ree, the league's reigning drama queen and the epitome of attitude, got caught up in a routine in-game altercation with Caitlin Clark that turned into a full-fledged witch hunt against the Fever. Suddenly, the conversation turned from who played harder or smarter to racism, unsportsmanlike conduct, and whether the Fever should even be permitted to play. Let's put on our detective hats for a moment. The whole thing begins when Angel Reese pushes a Fever player, a cheap shot, a blatant move. No suspension or headlines condemning her for dirty play, but when Caitlin responds with a textbook legal tackle, boom, the Fever fans are called racists. The media goes into overdrive when the league stirs up controversy regarding fan behavior, as if it were the season finale of a reality TV program, and you begin to question whether someone accidentally switched the sports channel to a chat show during the day.
People just aren't used to the heated intensity of a great rivalry. But in the NBA, we had MJ and the Pistons, we had Bird and Magic. We're kind of used to it. As Caitlin Clark in Indiana hammered the Chicago Sky, it was like 4.5 minutes left in the third, there was a foul. It should not have been upgraded to a flagrant foul. It was a foul. And I really think if you truly respect women's basketball, let them play. Sort of like guys. Rivalries equal ratings. Sports is better with intensity. Animosity is part of it. This is okay. Who cares if Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark? It's not soccer.
However, the narrative intensifies at this point. The Fever aren't just the new kids on the block, they're the reason arenas are buzzing again the rest of the league. Not so much you have to ask yourself why the sudden focus on problems with Fever fans when they're the ones actually showing up. It's like blaming the loudest, most passionate group at a party for the party being fun. Meanwhile, other teams and fan bases are silent spectators watching their seats stay empty and their merchandise gather dust. And don't forget the impact Caitlin Clark is having on the sport itself. She's not just playing basketball, she's redefining the narrative. Here's a rookie who's stepping into a league where veterans were supposed to hold the spotlight, and instead she's grabbing the mic, rewriting the script, and making sure everyone knows she's here to stay. She's selling out arenas, breaking viewership records, and creating a buzz that's impossible to ignore. Yet instead of being celebrated, she and the Fever are met with resistance fueled by jealousy, territorialism, and frankly a bit of bitterness. It's as if the rest of the league forgot that competition is supposed to drive sports forward, not hold it hostage with petty grudges and exaggerated drama.
Had Angel or anyone else done the exact same type of a foul to Caitlin, the storyline's different. I don't have an issue with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. I was always taught you don't give up an easy basket, and that's what I thought Caitlin did. My thing with that was stand in it.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
I got no issue with none of it. It's just basketball soft as hell right now on both sides of it. There ain't no damn flagrant foul, man.
Hear your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make for her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? It's either wide open 2 points or, you know, send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul, and the basketball player knows that.
Then there is the media circus. Whenever the Fever hits the court, the focus switches from the game to who will start the next fight. It seems as though the league has shifted from being about basketball to being about who can make the most offensive remarks while still keeping up a flawless Instagram feed. While Caitlin Clark and the Fever are positioned as the antagonists, Reese, with her penchant for dramatics, receives the royal treatment as the league's IEG girl. The plotline is so cliched that it's nearly comical, and the true fans who are spending their hard-earned money to fill seats, purchase jerseys, and raise the league's profile are caught in the crossfire. Cheering for other teams implies you're simply another fan, but suddenly backing the Fever implies you're the issue. The league's apparent intention to undermine its own success is the true kicker because of the obvious double standard here. It's like being told you can only cheer for your favorite if you do it quietly, politely, and without actually winning. The WNBA can expand, attract new fans, and compete with any sport for respect and attention, as demonstrated by the Fever and Caitlin Clark. However, rather than embracing the success, some people appear committed to maintaining the status quo by clinging to antiquated narratives and internal politics that are more detrimental than beneficial.